Some FAMU Law students had the opportunity to swing golf clubs and learn leadership and networking skills at the same time. It's all a part of the Fairways to Leadership program, and here to tell us about it is Dr. Eric Boyd, the co-founder and president, along with Professor Jennifer Smith from FAMU Law. Welcome both of you to Legal Connections.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell us about this program and how it came to be.
Well, I think probably the best way to describe the program is to use an example of what the program is trying to sort of prevent from happening in the workplace. So I had a young woman who told me that she worked in an office of 4 in a finance company. It was herself, she had 2 male colleagues, and then a male manager. And when it came time to get their annual reviews, the 2 male colleagues got 4 hours on the golf course with the manager, and she got 30 minutes in the manager's office. And so those are the type of situations that they're not explicit discrimination, they're more implicit types of discrimination that the program tries to address and prevent from happening. And the way we do that is we use the experience of learning to play golf to teach leadership and networking skills.
How so?
Well, if you've played golf a little bit, you'll understand that a lot of the leadership traits that are important in business, things like integrity, empowerment, and strategy, are also the types of traits that the game of golf calls on you to use. And so what we do is we use the students' experience learning to play golf and learning those traits to help enhance their skill set when they become leaders. But it's also about creating that access, right? I mean, it's one thing to be able to do it, but unless you have access to it, you never get that opportunity. And so the game of golf is one that does provide that access. Because if you look at some of the statistics, like 90% of CEOs play golf, about 80% of executives say that golf has played a role in their rise into management. It's an important social skill. I think one of our students said it best. She said, golf is sort of a gatekeeper sport in business, right? It's where relationships get formed, it's where decisions get made, and if you can't play the game, right, you get left out. And if you look at the history of golf, it's not one that necessarily has a very pretty history when it comes to women and people of color. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to make that warm invite so that more people have that opportunity to develop the skill set and therefore have access to leadership.
Wow. And Professor Smith, so tell us about your role and the students' involvement at the law school.
So Dr. Boyd contacted me as president, because I'm president of the Black Law Students at FAMU Law, to invite us to participate. And so Dr. Boyd showed me his program and what it was about, et cetera. And I asked my members if they wanted to do it, and so many did. And I think the first time we had maybe 11 or 12. And it was so interesting to watch them really develop as they evolved, because on the very first day, Dr. Boyd and I probably cracked up to ourselves because our students, the dress code, I mean, it was all over the place. And so the first day after, I held him back and I said, let's talk about golf a little bit. Dr. Boyd was gone by this point. And I said, listen, why didn't you all Google, golf attire, et cetera? Anyway, the next week, they were clean. I mean, they were matching. They were looking like professional golfers. And it really was an indication of their real interest in the game and learning the game and understanding the game. But along with the game, they also had various exams, quizzes, programs, maybe, as I would describe it, online that they had to do as well. And I could watch and see who had done what and where they were. And so I would encourage them and talk to them about, keeping up with it. But they were really interested in it. And I think it's absolutely critical that opportunities like this are opened to our students, because I think it made a difference. And this fall as well, we have an additional 12 students doing it this time, and so it's excellent.
Is it per semester?
Yes, so the program runs for 6 weeks, and just to build a little bit on what Professor Smith said, the students get a golf lesson each week, and the online would be, we have an executive forum speaker series where we bring in speakers each week, and then we also have a learning portal called the Leadership Academy, which is a podcast series where they learn about leadership moments on the course and how they can be successful in those moments.
And I did the first time, I wanted to see exactly what the students were doing. So I did all of the programs with them and listened to the speakers as well. I thought they were excellent speakers, really great opportunity for our students, and either renewed an interest in some who had minimal interest, or really piqued an interest in others who had no interest or had never had an opportunity for golf. So I think it's really an opportunity, a real privilege to be
Yes.
part of the program.
That exposure is everything. And then once you've done it once, you don't ever, just speaking to what you said, even in the work environment, it is this little, like an inner circle, and you don't want to be the one that's never tried it or been there. And so, how awesome. So,
Exactly.
wow.
And we're also hearing from our students that there's personal benefits. For example, many of our young women say this learning the game is helping them also spend more quality time with family members like brothers and fathers. And I think we hear Edward Levant, who was one of the students last year, was telling me about being in a summer interview and being able to have a conversation about golf that he wouldn't have been able to have before, which allowed him to connect, personally with the individual. And we all know in interviews, part of it is what you can do, but also the other part, the people are saying, do I feel comfortable with this? Do I have anything in common with this person that working with them would be enjoyable? And so I think it gives them that sort of social dynamic and that social mobility that without the game that they wouldn't have.
What I really, really loved about the program, and I think it was, you and your wife did a great job of really formatting it, because it went to the very basics. So we started with going into the golf clubhouse, and he explained everything, and we had the LPGA.
We had the the foundation director.
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie, Jamie, the golf instructor.
The golf instructor who helped the students. And so they went from the very basics, and that was great.
I love it. I would love to learn more about this, but I'm so happy that you came to share with us, and congratulations on something that sounds like it's a game changer for the students. Thank you so much, Dr. Boyd and Professor Jennifer Smith.
Well, thank you for having me.
Wow, now we know more about Fairways to Leadership, a program using golf to promote social change.